Ilia Topuria versus Conor McGregor is the fight to make. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Fight franchise, and kind of predicting what is next for Ilia Topuria and his career after he has vacated his featherweight title, which I don't think many of us saw coming. I think a lot of us thought Ilia will leave featherweight eventually, fight for the championship at 155, but I don't think any of us thought it would be this soon. I think a lot of us thought, Ilia Topuria will create a legacy at featherweight, create a legacy in the sport. Ilia Topuria is on a great trajectory in the sport. I think he's 27 years old. He's got some of the best wins in the featherweight division's history, arguably the best back-to-back wins in UFC history, and was on a streak to, becoming the featherweight GOAT, and then could have, won the lightweight title and created a legacy there and put himself on the, top 10, top 5, even top 3 or top 2 greatest MMA fighters of all time. The sky is the limit for Ilia Topuria, and I think a lot of us, when we heard he's vacated the featherweight title, this was left field, and a lot of us were like, okay, he's going up to 155 and he's fighting Islam Makhachev for the undisputed world title, which I think will happen. I think it will happen very shortly, but I think there is a play where Ilia Topuria versus Conor McGregor could be the more interesting, not the more interesting from a competitive standpoint, but the more interesting bout that the UFC would be able to make. Conor McGregor has kind of been axed from the sport recently. He's been pushed away by Dana White. He's been pushed away by the media after his recent actions with his civil lawsuit. He isn't the most promotable guy. I don't mean in that sense. I mean, like, for your brand. Like, nobody wants him on their brand. They've dropped him as sponsors and whatnot. But when he comes back to the UFC, or when he fights next, whether it's BKFC, whether it's in a boxing bout, whether it's in the UFC, the eyes of the world will be on that. There's nothing like a Conor McGregor show. And for 2 years, we've been speculating he's going to return to fight Michael Chandler. And at the time, a lot of us thought, him versus Michael Chandler will be an entertaining matchup, because Conor McGregor could potentially win that because Chandler's stupid enough to stay on the feet with Michael Chandler, but also Michael Chandler will make it entertaining enough because he will stand on the feet. He won't take down McGregor, and if he does, he'll probably pick him up and slam him down. But ever since, Michael Chandler's on 2 losses now. Michael Chandler lost to Oliveira, and he lost to... No, he's just lost to Oliveira recently. I thought he was on 2 losses, but yeah, he lost to Oliveira recently after waiting for 2 years and kind of stalling out his career. A lot of us have we're just bored of that now. Like, Michael Chandler sat out, he's on a loss now, it doesn't make it exciting. And he's fighting Paddy Pimblett, which is his like, you know what, we didn't give you Conor McGregor, we'll give you the next best thing. A huge matchup against a huge personality, and we'll pay you handsomely for. It won't be Conor McGregor money, but it'll be very good money. And that's what I think the UFC's done. And if he beats Paddy, do we really want to see him fight Conor McGregor? I don't really care about Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor anymore, because Michael Chandler just sat out and just was like, oh, I'm waiting for you. And Conor McGregor, it's just cringy now at this point. Like, at first I was like, yeah, I want to see it because it's exciting. And now I'm just like, I just don't care. But if the UFC was to do Conor McGregor versus Ilia Topuria, that is a mega fight because of the trash talk. This is the Conor McGregor versus, the regen Conor McGregor, Ilia Topuria. This is, all the promo of it, all the hype of it, all the trash talk of it. McGregor sold the fight already, when he goes top Toro on his streams, and he's cussing him out, and he's like, I'll grab him by the scruff of his neck and slap him about, he's sold it already. He doesn't like him. He's like tweeting, I'm in Marbella, Spain, where are you at? I own Spain, I run Spain, I live and train on my yacht in Spain. Where's Ilia Topuria? He's already sold the bout. Ilia Topuria, he'll take that bout in no time. He says, I don't want to do business with McGregor. But when the McGregor paycheck is shown and Hunter Campbell goes, oh, here's how much you'll make fighting McGregor, you'll do it. And there's a reason why I think this is a brilliant matchup for Ilia Topuria to take instead of Islam Makhachev straight away. Because it creates legs for him. If he goes up against Islam Makhachev and loses straight away, I feel like he loses a lot of steam on his career and a lot of hype off of him. And that's not because I don't think he can win against Islam. I do think he can win. I think he's that good. I think he even might be more well-rounded than Islam Makhachev, which is crazy to say because Islam's one of the most well-rounded UFC fighters we've ever seen. But it just gives him more room to grow that superstar and makes the Islam fight, if he holds on to the belt, bigger. If you do Ilia Topuria versus Conor McGregor as Conor McGregor's comeback fight, his first fight at lightweight. If Conor McGregor wins, my goodness, you can have Conor McGregor versus Islam Makhachev. If you beat Ilia Topuria, you're deserving of a world title shot because everyone's saying Ilia deserves a title shot, Ilia deserves a title shot. If I'm being honest, I don't think Conor McGregor wins that bout. I just think Ilia Topuria is that too good and he's in his prime. And, McGregor's had injuries. He's probably slowed down a bit. But that fight, the UFC loves Conor McGregor, let's be honest. Dana White loves him. But Dana White's a businessman. Hunter Campbell's a businessman. The UFC is run by TKO and Ari Emanuel. This is a business. This is here to make money. The Conor McGregor show is over. What? We get Conor McGregor for 2 fights and we sell a couple of pay-per-views. Okay. If you have Ilia Topuria beat Conor McGregor, you've created a brand new superstar who's 27 and will be your Conor McGregor for the next 5 years if you play his career right. You don't even have to have him face Islam. If Islam goes, oh, I beat Justin Gaethje after he beats Fiziev because it's a fresh matchup, and then goes up, that vacates the belt. Ilia can be a superstar. Islam can be a potential superstar at 170. Maybe their paths can cross where Islam comes back down and goes, okay, let me prove myself that I'm better than Ilia Topuria. But if you do Conor McGregor versus Ilia Topuria, you've got the opportunity of a lifetime. And to be honest with you, I'd love to see that bout. Yes, everyone's saying he should fight Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje. Those bouts can come. Those guys are going to stick around. Those guys will be there. But the Conor McGregor fight's a unicorn fight, but you can make that fight if the UFC wanted to, if Conor McGregor wanted to. And here's the thing, if you don't think Conor McGregor's reliable and he won't turn up, you're telling me you can't have a backup and headline a pay-per-view and turn it into Ilia defends the BMF title, because technically he's the lineal BMF title. If you don't count, obviously, I think it's Bilal Muhammad as well is the lineal BMF title. But you can sell it like that. Oh, Arman Tsarukyan or Charles Oliveira takes the fight instead of McGregor, have them ready as a replacement. That's a well-worthy bout and go, oh, the winner of this fight's Islam for the title. That solves that issue if you don't think Conor McGregor's reliable. You have a ready up-and-coming opponent. And if Ilia pulls out Charles Oliveira versus Conor McGregor, what about that would be? The Rio de Janeiro, the Brazil kind of thing, the rivalry that Conor's got to go versus Ireland without Jose Aldo, that comes up again. I feel like this is the year where the UFC can capitalize on Conor McGregor. His stock is kind of low right now. He needs the fight. I feel like him outside the octagon right now. Yeah, he's doing stuff with BKFC and whatnot, but right now he needs direction. He needs a fight. And to be honest with you, Dana White, the UFC owe Conor McGregor. They owe him. They need to help him. Not in a sense financially. Conor don't need money. He needs help. Spiritually, mentally, physically, he needs a fight. Yes, he can fight in BKFC if they let him go, but this man wants to get in that octagon, feel the crowd, put those UFC gloves on, and he wants to scrap with someone. Ilia Topuria is that guy to scrap with, and yeah, Ilia Topuria will probably KO him. We've seen Conor McGregor lose in the octagon. Who cares? This is time to build a new star off the back of the old ones. If anyone watches pro wrestling, it's a huge thing in pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is staged, but when a big name gets, towards the end of the career, they lose to the next up-and-coming star to give them the rub, and so they can grow on to be a big star. The Undertaker loses to Roman Reigns. John Cena loses to Austin Theory. Somebody else loses to somebody else, and that person off the back of that is supposed to catapult themselves. You beat this huge name, you're going to become the next big star. This is the opportunity to do that on an astronomical level. But you've got to do in the second to third quarter of this year, Ilia Topuria versus Conor McGregor. Justin Gaethje, if he beats Fiziev or whoever, Arman Tsarukyan, you hold them off and you can use them in the Abu Dhabi card for Islam to face then. Islam wins, Ilia wins, you make that fight in 2026 in January. Or, yeah, you'd probably have to make it in January or January, February, March. Because Islam Makhachev, he won't turn around in 2-3 months after October Abu Dhabi. But then you've got that bout, and I know a lot of people want to see that bout now, and I want to see Islam versus Ilia. But I just think the Conor McGregor bout will just make that fight even bigger. It will make us bigger stars, and it will just amplify who Ilia Topuria could become. And I think that is the best route to go, because there's a lot of it. And it also concerns me, because wouldn't you just say, "Oh, Islam's fighting Ilia"? Like, you would announce it, yeah, UFC, what's it called? Maybe they're holding off to do a big announcement, pound for pound versus pound for pound, you know, featherweight champ versus lightweight champ and whatnot. But I just think there is an opportunity of a lifetime with Conor McGregor, because if Conor McGregor comes back and fights Charles Oliveira, yeah, we'll be all hyped. If he fights Justin Gaethje, we'll be hyped. If he fights whoever, we'll be hyped, irregardless. But if you do Conor McGregor versus Ilia Topuria, you know, the personality clashes. You could do a world tour, you can have a press conference in Ireland and Spain, and you can kind of relive some glory moments, and you can create that would sell 1.678 million pay-per-views. It wouldn't probably get 2 million, but it would be damn close. I feel like that's the route to go. Do Ilia Topuria versus Conor McGregor, and then have Ilia face Islam Makhachev for the title sooner down the line. I don't want to see Ilia versus Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, blah, blah, blah. Those would be amazing matchups, but they're just not needed, because if they win, it kind of just stifles Ilia's career, and they're back in the title picture, and it just log jams because Islam's beat these guys. Islam doesn't want to face these guys again. He wants to face these guys. Okay, I'm done with you. On to the next. Done with you. On to the next. I'm done with you. On to the next. He wants to build. You can tell Islam wants to build a resume of names. That's why he's saying, "Oh, give me Justin Gaethje." Why? Because he's never beat Justin Gaethje before. It's a new name. No one can say, "Oh, you beat him before," like Charles Oliveira. You beat him again. It doesn't excite him, like he says. But if Justin Gaethje beats Fiziev, he's going to be on a one-fight win streak and probably fight for a title. Islam Makhachev wants fresh names. You can give him Ilia Topuria now, which would be amazing. But I think do Ilia versus Conor McGregor. Do Islam versus Arman Tsarukyan or Justin Gaethje. After they both win, which they should win, you do the super fight, and it will be bigger than ever. What do you guys think of that? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you just want to see Islam versus Ilia straight away? I don't think so. I think Ilia versus Conor McGregor. I would love to see that fight, just for the build-up, just for the trash talk, and the potential superstar you can make out of Ilia Topuria. Let me know down your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more MMA and fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.